it looked like it auto started.
Yeah.
Because we did it perfect.
The curly thing is still a little bit
I know.
blurry.
Sorry
We're going to
about
work
that, you
on
guys.
that.
There's not a whole lot we can do about it. I'm trying to find this. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
It don't matter.
I think that if I make it... Well,
there's our Christmas tree.
Hold on. No, I just thought that's when you're like, there's our Christmas tree.
Okay, I'm going to look at the ads. Okay, so we have a Shine. Is it Shane or Shine?
That's Sawyer's cat, a dog toy.
And a Western Union. And yeah, Western Union. Hey, Lisa Lou.
So Sawyer has learned how to activate his toy to do this crowing that he used to not know how to do it. He only thought we were the only ones that knew how to make it go, but now he's figured it out. Come here. Today.
So we're not blurry or pixelated, but you can't see the curly sign too well, but it's okay.
Well, hold this for a second.
Look.
Hold this. I'm gonna. It wasn't a thing until it was a thing. Hold on.
Mandi got a few new things today.
No, you can't talk about that yet.
This.
Yeah, but that's because, you know how they try to tell you they're going to give you a deal on it at the Verizon store because...
And then they don't. Oh my God, what is that? Oh.
What is that? Hold on. Anyway, whatever. It's going to be blurry. I don't know what the secret is to it, but when you watch the playback, sometimes it wasn't blurry. Remember?
Look, we could even look on it there if we wanted to.
Yeah, but anyways.
You look better on the big screen.
Is my name in lights?
Your name in lights. Damn straight.
We're sharing a Monster, which could go either way. Here. I don't normally drink a whole lot of energy drinks, but so he's a pro.
I'm her
should I tell you that I'm pretty open about my medications? I'm not going to tell about that one thing, but I'm going to tell them that. Do any of you have y'all tried Vraylar?
Reachable for you.
Vraylar.
Oh my God! Oh, sorry. Go
the psychiatrist added it just to see how I don't like it at all.
Hey, Stitching. Hey, Miss
But I'm
Christy.
curious if anybody else has had better luck than I had, because there's a lot of videos about it, people talking about it one way or the other.
It was very,
well. No, we're not getting into that. That's a no-no. But it did.
Funny you should say that. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but it made me more anxious than anything.
Yeah, I had to tame the beast.
Yeah. But I think it's the newest thing that they try to stick to your regimen. I think they must have gotten. Oh, thank you, Reachable.
Hey, Reachable.
Thank you.
She says, "Oh my God, finally, I missed you guys." Yeah, I mean I don't know. We come on when we feel like it, and we miss you guys too. Really.
But if he's going to start being off Friday and Saturday, so it'll probably end up being the Thirsty Thursday wrap up, the today. And then maybe like Friday. And do you know why everyone's putting the pink flowers around her name? Okay.
I heard about that.
So Boho, she's a little bit out there. She decided that one of
the
Beast's mods were copying her pink flowers. And she had a serious issue with her pink flowers being copied.
That was funny. Did you see what did you see I said... So I went on Twitter and I was like, nobody, and I'm so serious, can use the letter S in their names anymore.
Oh, I need to be better about looking on Twitter during the day. Normally I don't know what the hell it's talking about.
Look, your lipstick is all over it.
I know. Monster's pretty good as far as like energy drinks go.
Do you want the rest of that one?
No, because it's
probably not as good for my 54-year-old heart.
No, probably not. Karen said that was funny. Hey, Presley, it's so good to see you. Lisa, they belong to... And she said she was also bitching about that this girl was giving money. And I'm like, don't mess with her hustle, girl. No. Don't you mess with her hustle.
And I'd say that about anybody. Even people that don't like us or we don't like them. You try not to mess with their hustle. You can make fun of it, but don't mess with it.
So when you went through Twitter and there was a thing from last night with one boob out, one in, and paint everywhere.
How did that not get struck, like straight down?
I don't know. I don't know why one was out.
So, okay, guys, a little bit of this little precursor. A lot of people were worried again, and I just have to say, don't worry about over there. Eventually, no matter who's in her chat, no matter who's gassing her up, no matter what, eventually it's going to come to apparently what happened last night.
Yeah. Okay, Presley. Her husband needs a haircut. Yes. So it was funny because I was just like cruising through and someone was like, "You got to look at this," and I looked and I went, "Holy shit!" And then today Sean's like, "Twitter's hurting my eyes," and I was like, "Why?" He was like, "There's so many pictures of that."
Yep.
Okay. The other thing, you have to.
Let me see.
I wonder if when we do it on the laptop, if it. Oh yeah, and then what happened today? Oh, dumping coconut juice and shit over it. I don't even know if did you see that on Twitter?
No, I didn't.
She
I was at work
bathed in her kitchen, her like oils and shit like that.
And that's what happens. That's what it's going to come down to, man. I mean, it's like
I couldn't bathe myself in coconut oil or real coconut. Aren't they expensive? Coconuts are not cheap, are they?
I don't know how expensive are coconuts, people.
I have no idea. Oh, it's saying, okay, so that's the other thing. It just reminded me that it's being shared. So today, I did get an early Christmas present. They did throw the iPad in at a steal because it was included with our data and it was very low price. But I did get it. I broke down and got an Apple Watch. And the reason I got it, number one, they finance it. Number two, when I'm outside and I have my AirPod in, my phone can be, you have some distance between it, but not a ton. And
Does it look better?
See, isn't that one better?
But
That's
I mean,
a
can you see
screenshot.
did you see that's what it is, the curlies?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know, like if it's there. I really don't know how to fix it.
But continue. I was being distracted.
So and then when you get out of range with your AirPod, and you hear it go first. The noise goes away, and then it goes doo-doo, and then you have to go find your phone. And if you don't know where it is, it can be frustrating because you've left it anywhere.
But what started this whole thing? The fact that the laptop got broke and we were trying to fix it.
And I fixed the laptop.
She fixed it today.
I got a new part for the charging port, and I fixed it. Which is crazy.
She's amazing, dude.
No, but that's crazy because, hey, Irish Bev.
Hey, Irish Bev.
But that's crazy because I know nothing about the internal workings of the computer, but it wouldn't charge. And I could look inside of it and see, whatever. So I ordered a new one, and I put the new one in, and you could see the difference. And it didn't work, of course. And I was like, shit. Then later I plugged it in, and it worked.
So about a week ago.
Thank God.
We needed to get on the laptop because some things you have to do on a laptop or a desktop. We've decided we're going to get a desktop because I may be getting another job.
It's a good thing we don't get rogue modded because you have to have
that really
a laptop.
sucks.
You have to have one to get into.
Anybody that has a rogue mod, I feel so bad for you. But it's been about a year ago when I was supposed to be let out in handcuffs and fired from the post office, and
yeah,
it's been about a year, a little
Karen,
bit more than a year.
Call me Geek Squad, all in one. Yeah.
Yeah. So we needed to get on our computer, and we couldn't get the laptop to work. So in the span of the week, we got a part for the laptop, an Apple Watch, an iPad, and they got the laptop to work.
And for anyone who has done it before, the only thing if you've been with Verizon for any length of time, they'll bill it. Pretty much everything they'll bill, except you have to pay the taxes. So that
which
they
was
can't
about
bill.
$50 or something like that.
It was with the laptop with it. So look, we have different things that we do. Most of the time, I take the Venmo card and he gives me an allowance. And you can think that sounds however, but it's how I prefer it. So I was texting him, I was like, hey, I'm at the Verizon store. Because yesterday I was like, I want the watch because I don't want to break my phone. I don't want this. So he's in there looking at stuff. He goes, well, Christmas is coming up. And I'm sitting there like, I ain't fucking waiting until Christmas.
I know. It's so silly for me to be practical
Carlos,
like that.
Carlos, what's going on with Just Lurking? I was in there earlier. Thank you. Hey, Jocelyn. I was in there earlier and Just Lurking was kind of conversing with Carlos a little bit.
Really?
I was super confused. Yeah, it's a battle of the live streams now. It's Stewie live streaming and Just Lurking live streaming and who knew what when.
Really?
And if you have nothing else to watch,
So it's dudes. It's dudes.
Yeah.
It's mostly gals, but now it's dudes.
yeah.
So this is how this works. We're laying in bed and we're on a budget. I'm telling Mandy, we're on a budget for about a week,
Reachable.
right? And you know how that goes. If you're a dude and you're trying to tell your partner you're on a budget, there's a lot of ways that you can say it. But I'm just kind of like,
Can you give me a second? Winona, what are you doing in here? Aren't you like a superstar mod for the Beast?
who?
Anyway, go ahead. You wouldn't know because you don't watch it, right?
Oh,
She's like explaining something. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Okay.
I'm just
no,
curious.
that's okay. I don't know these people, so.
I think she's like anyway, go ahead.
So while I'm telling Mandy, hey babe, we're on a
Oh, okay,
budget.
Winona. Good to see you.
For about a week, we need to get about a week's worth of just buckling down. You know how it goes. And she's over there going, I want an Apple Watch.
But you
No, but listen, let me finish. So I know in my mind, she's going to figure out
Cool.
how to get her Apple Watch and keep on our budget, basically. She's going to be able to do it. And I would never be able to do that. So I'm like, we're on a budget. This is what we have to spend for 6 days or whatever until we get more ends, right? And she's like, okay, so I'm getting an Apple Watch. I'm sitting there going.
And because you needed to Venmo it, I was sitting there chatting with him and I kept going, when he sees it, he's going to feel really bad and he's going to send it because he's really busy or whatever. So anyway, that happened. But I had a lovely conversation with this guy. He's engaged. He's 30 years old. He has
You're talking about the guy at the
he has bipolar type 1 as well. And he can't remember shit either.
But
And
what
he
else
says
did he
it's
say that
affected his relationships too, that he doesn't remember.
It doesn't really affect ours.
No,
Because
I got an
I know
offspring.
I'm all over
I know,
the
I'm
place
like
with the monster. I'm like, monster.
I don't. I've
I'll
got
drink
one
water.
child that's not impressed with my memory.
Right. But that's a different kind of love, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're good, Winona. No worries. Loretta, why they're saying hi? Oh, there's Loretta. Loretta's got those pink flowers. I like to see the pink flowers. That's gonna become a thing.
Boho's a trendsetter.
Yeah, that's a good Winona. That's not.
It's a trendsetter. Boho is.
She's out of her fucking mind.
There's a bunch of them that
No,
are.
but
man.
she's legit out of her mind.
It's still the funniest thing I ever saw. Probably in all of 2023 was like a jib jab that Paula did.
Yeah, the Peppa Pig one.
The Peppa Pig. Y'all remember that?
Boho tried to strike the
Oh
shit
my
out of it.
God.
It was,
I mean,
and she's like, and I was like, did she really do that?
And she's like a Peppa. And
No worries, Winona, you're good.
So, jib jab is kind of funny. Sometimes it's corny, but that one was funny.
Yeah,
That
you're
one was
right.
funny.
Karen's like, it's drugs and mental at this point. It's. I cannot grasp like that level of ridiculousness, like getting naked and painting. Presley, the first time she saw her after Dr. Phil, she said she fell asleep and she woke up and she had covered herself in paint. It was the night of Evita or whatever. But don't misuse paint.
No, but
Paint is a serious
hear about all
commodity.
these-
There's a shorter.
I hear about all these things that go on, and it's like, yeah, I mean that's.
Then it's not.
You know,
There's nothing surprising.
So
about it.
there'll be a couple people that don't like us, so they'll try to perpetuate something like, well, she might be right about Sean and this and that. And people are like, Sean, how do you respond to that? I said, just give it some time. She'll completely alienate them and make them feel like they're stupid. It's kind of like the people that are like, well, maybe Sean is stolen valor, and she's talking about stolen valor, and maybe he is, and then she literally shows my honorable discharge paperwork, like.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
don't.
dude,
She sat
so-
on it with. Okay, so that's what I. So that is what I thought. So she did some sort of act with a paintbrush. Is my understanding.
Okay.
No.
So-
no.
But as I was saying, she will eventually, if people try to do some kind
Reachable.
of try to use her, they use her for whatever their drama means are. Dramamine.
That's a good one.
And they like, we're gonna, they'll try to gas her up, they'll try to support it, and she'll completely
And Kim.
trash whoever's trying to support her.
Yeah.
And y'all just keep that in mind next time you think you're worried about somebody, owl, lean in, that's trying to sort of support her and give her, because she will make her look like a clown.
Yeah.
And she did.
Yeah, it's pretty foul for sure. And nobody's gonna take her home to their mom.
No.
Nobody at this point is gonna take them home. She's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm a vlogger," and they'll be like, "Oh, what do you go by?" And all they gotta do is
Type it in.
and there it is.
If you're thinking you want the goods or you might want to see what's in there, just look in Google. It's
Yeah.
there.
Remember that time of the whole "you took my nudes"? It's like Google has your nudes.
Google has your nudes. Google's got a small gang of drama community checks nudes.
Yeah, the only
It
ones
really
that
does.
are in existence of mine, Sean has.
So if somebody hacks my phone,
They're not even really that juicy. You like
you know, the only thing that bothers me is I've got to like hide those or put those in a separate file.
You can hide them.
Because like I'll be like
And they're
showing
my,
somebody.
let's clarify, they're my nudes, not
Right.
any other.
But you know, you're you know, I gotta show you this meme, and you're scrolling through all your pictures, and you know they're looking right over your shoulder at your phone, and they see it real quick. They don't see it,
and Lord, we're
and I'm like,
so
that's just my
old.
wife. That's my wife. Don't you know?
Do you
don't-
really that?
No, I'm just
We are so old that when we started this adventure, when we were dating before, I mean, I guess maybe a little bit there was cell phones, but that cell phones weren't a thing when I started dating.
Wasn't there like they're Blackberries? Remember?
Not when I was dating. There was
No.
nothing in '97.
Well, what do you?
I think the
what
first
about
one-
'87?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we were sitting there trying to figure out how to make this happen when we started dating and hadn't seen each other. There she's. I knew Presley would have a comment about it.
Yeah.
Whatever she was doing there today was way out there with the beast. She always comes back as if to act like a fool and claiming she had COVID. She's the type you want to punch. See, Loretta is Khaki. Hey, I don't think I said hey to you.
I
Her
did.
crazy self typed in her chat and confessed that her ass is a huge gaping hole. That
Oh my
one
God.
could park a
And
Chevy.
here's one other thing about this. So this happened. What's time is it now? Like 8:45, and this probably happened 6 hours ago, I guess, or whenever it happened. I don't know. But
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is stuff that sometimes semi-normal, semi-crazy people might do, like late night, like at 1:30 in the morning on a Saturday because they got a little fucked up or whatever. It's really something different type of pathology when they're doing it at 2 o'clock on a Wednesday, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Wednesday.
Look, and
You know?
I can't, even if I have like, I'm always happy when I have all of the inside clean because then I can go piddle outside and do whatever. Like, but we like Loretta and Karen and I talk about we got shit to do during the day. Even though
That's
we
right.
stay at home, we've got shit to do.
But you
And-
guys know that, like, when you
Thank
see me,
you.
like, I know I'll respond to Joss's tweets, Karen's. It'll be at like what, noon, right? Because I get an hour lunch, and if I'm not spending it with you, then I'm just looking at I'm sitting in a convenience store parking lot getting I'm sitting in a convenience store parking lot
They're $7.50 now.
eating roller grill and just catching up on Twitter. And
Yeah.
that's when you'll see me respond to stuff or whatever.
Yeah, you're right. Presley says she definitely snorted her meds. It was disgusting. Yes, before she jumped on the gym bike this morning in the garage, she said, "I'll be right back. I'm going to the bathroom." And she came back and she's riding the bike. It's got to be a bitch when she runs out during the month.
God, man.
They don't
You know that-
reproduce inside the bottle. I'm here to tell you, I've tried it every
A
way
little
in the
bit of an
world back in
expert
the day. They don't reproduce. There's no male and female in the bottle.
When we were at the urgent care a couple weeks ago about my back, and the doctor comes in and he goes, "Okay, so we need to talk about pain meds." And I was like, "I don't want any pain meds." And you know, Mandi is like, "Sean, you need something. You're not sleeping." And Mandi knows my sleep patterns better than I do. You need something that you can sleep, you know. So the doctor prescribes like 15 Norco. And, you know, I'm a dumbass. I'm patronizing her and her sobriety. And I'm like, "Baby, I don't want you to worry about this." And she's like, "That wouldn't even get me started."
No. And he and I talked about, I said, if I was in active addiction, nothing's safe. And like, you would like to think that your husband's medicine that he needs not to be in pain would be safe and you wouldn't do some shit with it. But in active
Right.
addiction,
Give a shit.
no. Well,
No.
you just, you think on a totally different, it's survival.
I have, and
It's like
I
a
thought
primal.
about that because you taught that. So there's this one person at my work, and y'all don't know anybody I work with, so I'll talk about this person. And she's got really bad anxiety and this and that, and she's always doesn't have meds, or she's always having someone have to bring her meds. And the stupid thing about it is that she's so sort of, I guess the word strung out. She'll just tell everybody, including the management, it's like, oh, I'm I'm having a panic attack, but someone's bringing me some meds. And, you know, she has her own meds, but I think that she goes
Yes.
through them in about a third of the time that she's supposed to.
Mhm.
And then she literally has other people bringing her meds.
And
And
readily
she's
talks about it.
and talks about it to everybody, including the people that could have her fired for that.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It's crazy.
It's very wild.
Quickly, a lot of you probably did see it on Facebook. This is super sad. So if you're sensitive to this sort of thing, like our friend Sarah Smiles, she's a mod in here. She's not here tonight. Obviously, her dog passed away. So if you were on Facebook, you would have seen what happened. It was a tragedy,
Devastating.
unexpected.
I mean, I couldn't imagine losing Sawyer that way.
Yeah.
I mean, I just
So if you can send her a positive vibe, a good thought,
Vibes,
something like that, we won't focus on it because Sean and I will both cry. You know, that dog was literally born in her bed.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. 12
Yeah,
years.
12
not,
years,
Not,
yeah.
you know.
That's so. And whichever vet she uses, they actually have a place for them to kind of mourn, almost like you would with a human. And I'm here to tell you, you can be every bit as close. You know what I mean? Like
I say it at least once a week to Mandi when I'm looking at Sawyer Brown. Sawyer was like, see, we got my
you.
truck when we were together, and so we got Sawyer that first Christmas we were together. Do you know, guys, this is going to be our 5th Christmas together already?
Isn't that crazy? 5 Christmases together.
5 Christmases with Mandi, and we got Sawyer in Houston. We went down to Galveston Beach for a couple nights, right before Christmas in 2019. And I always have a saying when it's like, "Do you want to do this?" And now would be the time.
We had to go
Mandi-
to the bank to get the cash.
Yeah,
right?
we went to the bank and got the cash. And on our way back from Galveston, we stopped in Houston and we got Sawyer Brown. He is like, I'll be wrecked when we lose him.
Yeah.
Whenever. And when you talk about how we do this with our pets over and over in our lives, and it's worth it.
Come here.
You know, a dog will live 10 years, and you'll if you live to be 50, you know, like I'm in my 50s, and you get a dog,
5
you know.
years ago.
Yeah. Well,
No, he doesn't get it. Karen's like 5 years ago because that's what she always. You should have seen me 5 years ago. That's what the beast says. So.
oh,
I
yeah.
know.
Saw you. Apparently, they saw you this afternoon. But my dad says it. My dad's 83, and you know, it's like, why do we put ourselves through this? You know, we get a dog. It gives us like 10, you know, 8, 10, 12 years of unconditional love. You know, just this dogs are just, all they want to do is pretty much please their masters, except for Shih Tzus. They kind of don't.
Yeah, they say Shih Tzus are one of the only breeds that don't have a very strong desire to please.
Right. But he's still an amazing pet. And
Shih Tzus are the worst about begging.
oh yeah,
It's
this dog is.
They
Like,
said it's because they used to be fed in palaces, so they're used to being.
Sawyer gets to the point where if you ignore him, he will literally almost crawl right into your plate and take the ass whooping for it. But you know,
That being pretty loose because you know how when your dog, like, you're like, no, and they cower and you're like, I've never touched you in my entire, you know, like, like, you know what I mean? Like, anyway, go ahead.
but the thing is that then we lose them. And you know, like I said, I've seen Dad lose Freya and then Tucker.
Yeah.
And
I didn't realize that Tucker was so close to us meeting.
very close. Like it was that year. It was like within
a few months, right?
couple of months. Yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea.
It was my dad's last golden retriever.
There's Moxie. Hey, Moxie.
Hey, Moxie.
Thank you for the flowers. Let's get some flowers.
You know, when you lose a pet, either you go through a time where you don't ever think you'll go through it again, and then you want to go through it again. Then you get another one, and you bond with them, and you lose them, and we will do this over and over again in our lives because they're worth it. Dogs are worth it. You know, they really are.
No, that's exactly. And we do have a spot kind of loosely reserved in our merry band of zoo animals for a rescue at some point.
At some point.
If the right one comes
There's really
along.
no room at the end right now, but, you know.
But you never know when it's going to cross our path.
Or if we get a bigger yard, there might be a goat in our future too.
I
We both want a goat.
I'm serious. No, I really don't.
You
I mean,
don't- what
I'll be
is it that
okay
you
with
wanted?
it.
A donkey?
Yeah, I want a donkey.
And she wants the donkey.
I want
That's
a
what she
donkey.
wants. You can get little miniature donkeys, you know.
And they're just as loud, right?
You just go right in that North Georgia chicken thing, and they're
Hey, Marilyn, it's good to see you. I think I figured out how to fix that next time.
okay.
Like they say when the flash like flashes off of like a mirror or something reflects back, you slightly turn it when you take the picture. I think if I tilt it where it's at an angle, it might be easier to see.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Or even tilt it down or up.
Yeah,
a little
just
bit.
something where it takes off the straight on look. English Mastiff Winston finally, he was 10 and a half. That's the long. I didn't realize when I had my wolf husky, she passed away at about 8 years old, which I didn't think was old at all, but it was getting up there for a big dog, especially a wolf. And
Bigger dogs don't live as long as little dogs.
isn't that strange?
I
mean, it's. I guess they just have they have more issues or something.
I mean, but Molly was like 16, right?
Yeah, my parents, their Shih Tzu, because they had two. We've had, and he's had some in his family. Shih Tzus are a thing. We're not the only ones that have ever had one. Remember the copying thing.
Where is
he's
Sawyer?
20.
Sawyer
He's
Brown.
He's in a weird mood. Sawyer's in a weird. He's right there. He's
Come
in
here.
a weird mood
Come here.
today. I think that what happened, a Flemish rabbit. What is that, Brenda?
Come here, buddy.
I probably just said something that's gross because I have no idea what it means. See?
You got his toy. That's your
Sean,
toy?
this will not be surprising. Karen, when their kids were little, they had a donkey.
Of course they had a donkey.
We had a mule.
They probably
Nipper.
Karen probably had
I love it.
a great white shark.
I tried and... Okay. Yoga Pants just... Oh, I didn't see you, Yoga Pants. Hello.
doing?
There it is. Good to see you guys. There's a lot of people in here. It's bigger than Sawyer Brown. Oh, and it's a dog. Or you're saying that it's an actual... It's a rat. Oh, those big rabbits. I know what you're talking about.
Big ones.
Yeah, they're huge. The main thing with the donkey is they'll go butt anything that comes in the yard, and they're loud. I'll look it up. Let me look it up. It's called a...
Goats too.
What is it called? No, I know what the goat, but what kind of... She said a Flemish rabbit. Let me look this up.
It's like a hare, right? Like a big rabbit is a hare. Hare or something like that.
Kind of like the axe pit. So we got into this. Oh my God. Okay, I see what it is. That's
a big rabbit.
Big old rabbit. Wow. They're cute, but rabbits hurt when they bite. So you guys, this morning I went with Sean to his very early physical therapy appointment. I wanted to see, that's amazing. I wanted to see kind of what they did as far as like pulling on it. Well, I didn't really see anything because I was not in there.
You were allowed to come in there.
Yeah, but I didn't. But what was, see now I forgot.
Yeah, Karen. Yeah. I'm serious. Karen's
was
like, we live closer to the ocean. You were talking about.
You can keep talking. I'm trying. It's
Physical
going to come
therapy.
back to me, right?
And
But what was it before that?
No, you said you got up and went with me to physical therapy.
Oh, so we were talking.
See.
And I needed to put the rest of my landscaping timbers in. Or hey, Rez.
Hey,
Okay.
Rez.
Yeah.
Hey, Kay.
Please do.
Everyone that I haven't said.
Rez definitely
Hey to
sent an email
Brenda.
about that. So yeah, he's biting at. I think he's.
Rez, please do. Please do. I'm very
There he comes. Here he comes. Come here.
interested isn't the word, but I'm very willing to talk about that. I mean, that's
Yeah.
something that means a lot to me. So
He was fighting. Oh wow.
yep.
Come here, Sawyer Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I didn't.
Mandy is sometimes you wake up and you don't really quite remember the dream, but your partner's looking at you like you had a bad dream, you know.
Yeah. It's it's better than it used to be. I guess because you came out of a state of chaos.
Yeah, I mean, right. I remember even in Texas, like the first probably 6 months or 5 months, I woke up every day with anxiety, and it was just very generalized anxiety, and
it was kind of like I don't want to make it sound stupid, but like recovering or whatever from everything. And we would just watch TV and lay together, and keep it very
COVID was
very
when COVID hit. Mandy and I decided we were going to take the first like 5 or 6 months and do nothing together except for get to know each other. We went to Galveston. Financially, we were able to do that, and so we did, and just got to know each other. Y'all remember we launched our channel, and we were always around, And then when I was getting back to work and all that's when COVID hit. So then that was another year. 2020 was pretty much lockdown year for everybody, and yeah, and then that I guess the world was thrown into this very horrendous and chaotic state. It kind of helped me kind of normalize how I was.
yeah.
I wasn't quite as discombobulated as I used to be.
Yeah.
And
It was a pretty amazing time. Like it was the COVID was horrible, don't get me wrong, but the lockdown was, if you're a newlywed, that's the way to do it.
right, and I mean, people either got really close or they split up. My parents got a lot closer.
I took the money that I got for my stimulus, and I'm not even kidding, and I filed bankruptcy.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I used it for.
And everybody knows that because people were digging and they were trying to figure out something to drag us for, and all they could find was Mandy's.
My bankruptcy.
Yep.
Yep. I had a pretty substantial thing that I wasn't used to paying. To be honest, but so anyway, but this is like totally changing gears, but so that's why I was up. We went to the physical therapy appointment, but we came back and I need to put the landscaping timbers down. I took pictures. I'm going to show you. I did like a little retaining wall thing. It's not perfect, but it was my first time.
It's amazing.
So I was like, I need something
Take
to
some
break the
pictures of
clay
it.
up. Like the clay is hard. I can't really get a shovel through it unless I wet the ground or whatever. So I was like, I know, Karen, that's what I was thinking. It was common. Oh, Khaki didn't get a stimulus. So I was like, I need one of those things that like pickaxe or whatever that helps break it up.
Matic.
And he goes, I think it's a matic. And I was like if you play Dungeons and Dragons, it might be called that. That's not really what it's called. And he looked it up. He was like, it is. And he showed it to me.
It's called a
like,
matic, right, guys?
That's if there's only one side.
One side and it's flat on the other.
And if it's only one, then it's a pickaxe?
Well, a pickaxe, I think, is spiked on both sides. Where a matic's got the spike on one side and the flat on the other.
I think it's something out of Dungeons and Dragons. It's about 20 side dice and stuff like that. And hey, Nelson, it's good to see you. Stitching, it says don't say any more to them. They don't like. I was trying to see. They don't like to be bugged. I didn't see who it was. I didn't see what they're talking about, but it might have been interesting.
Let me see.
So I finished this retaining wall. Like I said, I don't know if it's going to hold anything back, but I replaced the one that was there because it was rotten. And you know what? If you look at anything long enough, you can figure out how it works. Most of the time. I have to admit, I even surprised myself. Oh, talking about team. Okay. I even have to say myself, though, the computer surprised me. Right?
Yes.
That I could do it.
Oh, yeah. She's talking about Team YouTube.
They don't like you to talk about it. I guess it comes up on the everything is someone that I don't know if they're in here or are going to say anything, but like to back this up. But now when so many people like report your comments in chats or whatever, if they get too many, they'll send you a warning sight unseen without
even if you
not
didn't say
even
anything?
what they even if they don't know what you said or whatever. Whoa. So I was like,
got a little bit too much monster in me right now.
it's okay. I just don't want it to shake.
I'm like,
You're very sensitive to energy drinks.
I am.
He's very sensitive to energy drinks. But yeah, so tomorrow is his last day and then he's off for the weekend. So I think our schedule is going to start being the Thirsty Thursday wrap up, then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
We could do that. You want
Yeah.
to try to do 4 days?
Yeah. We can. I think we can do it. We can always find something to talk about.
Well, we figured out that someone's always going to be talking about us anyway. Look,
And Sean likes that, so don't.
but look,
unless it's a weirdo.
if you need to
yes, Moxie.
get advice from anybody, Kiwi Farms doesn't understand why anyone talks about us. We're boring.
Yeah.
So whenever someone brings us up, if they're in Kiwi Farms says, stop talking about Sean and Mandi.
They're boring.
They're boring.
And I'm like, just let us be boring.
Just let us be boring.
We've got our little crowd that's fine with it that we're boring. They don't ever tell you what. Yeah, it's Karen. Karen was like, it was me. So Karen, someone report like she trolls with her name, but she doesn't like do anything like she doesn't even say anything awful. But I guess enough people reported it that she got a warning, and she was like, was it something I said? I know, Karen of all people.
Right, Joss. Joss is like even it's true. Someone tweeted earlier in the week. You guys know it's like I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to do today's stream about Sean and Mandi. And Kiwi Farms was like, stop talking about them. They're over there with their chickens.
Yeah.
You know,
we love our chickens, and they can be boring chickens. Oh, we do have a silky rooster out of the babies that we got at Tractor Supply at the end of the season. One is a silky rooster.
we might be able to have some silky magic.
Silkies are the adorable ones that you
The
see
real
them in the
fluffy
pictures.
ones?
They're real. These are bantam silkies, so they're little fluffy things.
I think I might
And
have
one
a
is
picture.
called named Presley, and the other one is named Diva Silky because
Those are our older ones, though.
she stomps around with her little furry body complaining, and she likes the song Boots with the Fur.
That's our silky.
She likes the song Boots with the Fur.
That's our little silky.
Isn't she
Right
cute?
there.
Sawyer has been chased by more than one chicken. Our Barred Rock was chasing it, so we have to. Sawyer, I wish Sawyer would get a little bit braver and not let the cats eat his dog food. Maybe stand up to the chickens when they chase them. Something, a little help. A little help, right?
That one.
Not let the cat. Not let the cat eat his greenie. That would be good too. Yeah, she stomps with her. She is. I'm telling you, Moxie. She stomps around with her little attitude.
She does.
She and the only one that gets with her right now is Uggo, and they're not able to successfully do it because Uggo's too big and she's a bantam silky. But they sure practice.
I want to show them there's a little buck, and it's about, 2 years ago when we got here,
I like the
he didn't
silky.
have any horns.
Oh, yeah.
He had no horns, and then last year he had little nubs. This is what he looks like this year. This is the
When
little
was
buck.
that one?
This was about 4 months ago. Look at him now. He's got little
When
horns.
was that?
That was probably
Oh, so
July.
you mean one of the babies from last year.
Yeah, see him?
Yeah, but people don't shoot the ones that they're that little.
No.
Yeah. Sometimes stories from Karen start with when we were cleaning and doing something with an elk. And I'm like, when you prepare it after you get it, I'm like, that sounds like an episode of Yellowstone. I didn't even know elk were a thing anywhere in the United States.
Yeah.
Are they a type of deer?
Well, put it this way. They have elk at Fort Riley in Kansas, and it's inside. It's a controlled herd. And elk aren't...
Cut and wrap. Karen was like, we're going to cut and wrap an elk. Go ahead.
But elk are not... they're not indigenous to Kansas. Like, they don't migrate to Kansas.
Oh, I see.
They weren't originally from Kansas. So they're more kind of, I guess...
They don't know about state lines.
Towards Colorado and all that. And so, but they brought a herd in there a long time ago, and they keep it controlled,
Oh, they do.
So they sell, they auction off like tags where you can go hunt one.
And they're in a
Yeah, it's not
enclosure?
hunting though. It's like
No.
you win, you spend so much money, you get a tag, and they call you up and said, come out. That one right there is your elk.
Barn rocks are a breed of chicken. You mean barred rocks or barn rocks?
We have barred rocks.
And the people around the corner have goats, and they've literally put boulders and tree stumps and things on the side of their hill. And the goats do what goats do. They walk and
Yep.
stand on them and stuff like that. It's really cool.
Do we have any pictures of our barred rocks? I don't. You might.
We have one.
We have
what's
4
on
little
them?
barred rocks.
And we had the Barred Rock, you know, Tractor Supply is supposed to only have girls. But they messed up on one, and we do have a Barred Rock rooster, which is interesting because Sean had a rooster that he really liked that was a Barred Rock, and his name was Brutus, and ours is named Rufus because
he's a barred rock.
Why not? Because well, and it was just we kind of kept calling him Brutus because that's what you. And then I was like, let's change it slightly. We don't need anybody saying that we copied the name.
I really don't have many pictures of them.
Oh,
You would
wow.
have pictures of the barred rocks, I think.
Because
babe.
why not, right? I do, but they're in this phone. I might start streaming with the iPad so that I can see the phone.
Yeah.
So yeah, Verizon had never seen anybody like me. I came in and I was like, what about a laptop? Can you bill it? I mean, a iPad, can y'all bill it? Yeah. All right. How long can you spread the payments? Well, throw that in there too. I need that as well.
It was amazing to me. And like when we first got together, it was like,
the beast chicken.
I wouldn't, you know, if she said, I want anything, it doesn't matter. It could be a car, you know, a certain car. That's a little extreme, but when she decides that she wants something, it means like she's formulating, I mean, within days. I mean, that I would say within hours, but if she comes up with it at 11 at night, she's not going to.
So when I sent you the thing and I was like, yeah, so were you shocked that it was about to happen?
No.
No, but you weren't shocked
No.
because you knew I was going to do it, but that I made it work.
I knew you were going to, what I knew when you said last night about the Apple Watch, and right after I said, well, we're on a budget. If we weren't on a budget, you just go buy the
Do
shit.
you want an Apple Watch?
No, it's for you.
I know, but eventually do you want one?
I don't, not yet.
When
You'd
you're
have to-
working, you can.
But I knew it's, you know, we've been together long enough as we're lying there in bed, and it's like 11 o'clock. She's talking about this watch, and I said something like, is that something, you know, like maybe a Christmas thing? And she was like, no. And I knew with $10 in the bank or 10,000 in the bank, she's going to figure out how she's going to get that watch. And I said, you know, we're on a budget. So she automatically knew, okay, I need to figure out how to get this like without spending any money. And so about noon,
Wow.
it was about noon, I get the little thing and she says, hey, you know, I need $50, she said. And I
For
was
the
like,
taxes,
okay.
and I said
And-
for the iPad, and then
And she goes, and I got an Apple Watch and an iPad. And I was like,
thank you. Moxie says I'm very expressive. I've been told that before. I had people like there's this lady that I knew in AA from Texas, and she one time was like, "Can I just tell you that when you tell a story, that you do a good job?" And I've always don't think that I do. I think I'm all over the place and whatever.
depends
but
on
she
what you're
said,
talking about, though.
if it's a funny story, I'm usually spot on, I guess. But if it's like a random, you know what I mean?
But
We've always got funny shit that goes on. Yeah, so first of all, whatever does the job, that's fine. She says that she goes to celebrate recovery. If she does, she does. But she's using fake pictures of chips. I don't know why she's
and
doing
the
that.
thing is that what you guys need to understand
It's
is
mirroring.
that it's mirroring, and it's not. It's actually making a mockery out of everything, and she doesn't think that. It's not like she says, "I'm going to make fun of this," but nothing is authentic. And like Mandi said, so everything that happens, everything that's said, everything that's worn is, you know, something that she's seen and she's trying to mimic. Because
I like turkeys.
narcissists don't know how to do anything except for mimic life. You know, that's all they know how to do. So
Russ,
but it
you'll
kind of
get
makes me
there.
mad. It makes me mad that you're in recovery, or anybody that's in recovery, and that somebody would mock it.
Right. And I don't celebrate recovery. There's a lot of people in the community who use it and have success with it, but it's kind of based loosely, not loosely, I guess it's fairly closely around Alcoholics Anonymous. So, and it's whatever, but you guys know more than I do that that's a bunch of load of bullshit or whatever. Are you getting crackers? We love saltine crackers. How about that if that's your favorite snack? I thought it was crazy when I saw her doing it, and I have a son with autism, and he does this with autism in his scripts, and she does the same. Yes. It's once there, it's just people complicate her more than she's not that complicated. She's not that deep.
You did, didn't you?
She's, look at him.
He got that thing.
Do
open.
any of your dogs, yes, mimics, do any of your dogs chew holes in blankets? Like just like work on it until there's like 50 holes in the blanket? Sawyer has his blanket. He does that. Come here. Do you want up here? Do you want to come up here?
He's like, I want to take his place.
But yeah, those were definitely stock photos of other people. I mean, thank God. I hope those aren't her hands. They were mechanics' hands, if I've ever seen mechanics' hands. God damn it, just playing to my... Yeah, no, Rez was like, I'm still trying to figure out YouTube and Gmail. I know. And it's like, you'll get it. You'll get it. I took me forever to figure out how to join my own live stream. Like when you schedule it, you have to have a laptop to do it.
And we couldn't get our laptop to work.
And I'm 95% sure it's fixed.
You're gonna be...
I will be. It'll be hopefully...
You have to see if it's charged. By the time we're off the stream, it should have charged at least to the
well, yeah, before when I was plugging it in, the light would flash like a white light. Now I plug it in, it's a steady red, so it means it's charging. Yeah. So look, Soy Brown.
This is his chicken.
Aw, special. Right here. Hey, just trolling. Where have you been? That's you, Rooster. That's you, Rooster. For those of you who might be new, this is Sawyer Brown.
Do you hand me my phone?
Oh, I'm sorry. This time I put it over there.
You had Sawyer. You had the...
I know. He's not being annoying.
He's all right.
I asked Karen yesterday, I said, do your dogs, like, stalk you during the day and you got to figure out what they want? Or
you said, what are you doing, just trolling?
Well, like, sit there and bark at you? Yes. Oh, that's sweet. My son is very, very sensitive to the fact that my parents have gotten older. And when we went to Colorado, my dad had he flew from Texas to Colorado to meet us, and then we flew over there. And it was a disaster flight. They lost his luggage. They kept canceling his flight. And he's getting older. He's pushing 80. And which I cannot believe I just can't believe. You never think of your dad.
No.
You know, so
I pondered
being
it with
elderly,
mine.
not like, you know.
And your dad's probably 6 years or so younger than
my
dad.
son, that's his buddy. And so he was like wandering on the airport, and Tanner jumped in the car and went to the airport and found him in the middle of, what was it, Denver?
Denver airport at like 1 a.m.
He
did.
Was
like right.
I have a feeling Tanner will become a counselor like my dad. He wants to be a police officer, but maybe we should.
I think he's going to be a cop first.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. Yeah, he did. My Bella barks when I leave for the grocery store. Yeah, see? That's what I'm saying. Like, Karen said hers does the same thing. And then I'll say, Sean, he's been driving me crazy. He's like, and Sean will be like, you just need to ignore it. And Karen was talking about this too. I mean, so you ignore it, and then he starts the bullshit when Sean's home, and he's like, what does he want? I'm like, that's the problem. See, when I don't know.
Like on Saturdays, that happens because I'm home. I haven't seen Sawyer nor Mandi all day. Yes. So when Mandy's like, this dog, and I was like, oh, because I hadn't seen him all day, so I have more patience.
I'm like, sometimes I finally go, you need to go lay down.
And he does, right?
He gets his feeling, and I just say, please, Sawyer, go lay. And he gets so sad, and I'm like, it's not worth it.
But he does. He goes and he lays down, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
I'm just going to start taking him to work.
You take him to work. If you register him as a service dog, you could.
I'll put a little vest on him.
Make him work.
I'll be like, go get the mail for 83.
Right, Joss, very cute. Sorry, go ahead.
Go get the mail for 310 Stowers Road and send him, and teach him how to do that, and he'll go get it. Go get that package for P.O. Box.
Have you, do you ever see Moxie's community posts?
Sometimes, but...
They're pretty good. They always have 5 ridiculous pictures on the topic of whatever she's covering. Yeah. And then what she's talking about covers it, and she's spot on. Moxie, do you use talk to text for your community posts? I'm just curious
Oh,
because they're
there
always
must be a hide or show. 'Cause
there's
that came up.
just
Hold on.
flawless, like the grammar and stuff is like flawless. I can't see it, but yeah, I was trying to think of a word to describe like what went on last night with the paint and the boob out, and then what went on today with the crazy. And skank was the only word I could come up with.
What was it?
Skank. She's a skank.
Colorful skank, I guess.
I
right?
guess, but she's a skank. And I guess it's entertaining if you're doing housework or whatever and you want to keep up, but it's a little bit different when you're like, dude, man, just go away.
Well,
like on certain topics.
I mean, when you
and stop talking about Clint. He doesn't want you back, man. He is happy as can be with his family, existing in his new family he's starting. Stop talking about him. He don't want you.
Press was like the beast is a
He
skank.
ain't coming back. She is. He's not coming back. Just troll. I was like, who is this thing? That's all I can think of to say because I don't want to say.
There's a few people that could be classified as skanks, but we're just. I think we're talking about just one.
Yeah, that reminded me of the vlog you made for me when you were. I can't explain it, but you were like, I was gonna say, hey guys, but I think this is just for just one. Y'all wish you could see his vlog specifically to me.
That's what we used to do. I don't know how many of y'all remember how we mentioned and I would send them through a troll account that I still have.
And
I just as enlisted, make a vlog for Mandi and then send it to her or post it on YouTube, but do it unlisted where only she has the link.
They're very cool. They were good. Sometimes I just watch them and I'll just let it play while I'm outside or whatever. It was really cool. And
I need to start doing that.
But it hasn't even we were talking about this today, how it's not ridiculous. It's amazing, but we're still as crazy about each other. It's still we've only been together for
5 years,
a month or something.
5.5 years or
and
4.5 years.
We laugh over the dumbest shit. Nobody would laugh over the shit that we laugh at.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Because we get it, right?
And she's Texas.
Oh, I didn't know we were right. I knew I was. Jocelyn, thank you. Thank you.
I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see, so I have to point it. But to Mandi, thank you.
That's so cool. I'm going to get mealworms with it. I'm not even kidding. I really am going to get mealworms.
She's not kidding at all. I mean, most of we try to do our channel, and we do the drama, and sometimes I wonder if people want to watch us anymore, but then somebody in the community says they're going to do a vlog about us and this and that. And Kiwi Farms tells them to stop. But really, the donations and stuff we get, 80-90% of the time, it's for our animals.
Yeah, most of the time.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
It is.
Anyway, doesn't matter. I can't even grasp onto it. Thank you. I have to have a good night, Presley. I will see you soon. I'm glad you stopped by.
Tell Hubs to get better.
I know.
Or feel good. Feel better.
To feel better.
You can.
Thank you. That's awesome. Thank you guys. It says Sean should be put in for sainthood for putting up with that broad.
Let me spend a second with that. Thank you for saying that. And that's the other thing that, when you're doing YouTube is, the drama community is like 0.1% of 0.1%. I mean, we're like a speck of sand on the beach, right? Our community. But because of that, there's always new people that come through and see us for the first time. And
thank you.
All of us that do this stuff, there's always new people. And even for anybody, even for the beast. That's why the beast stays here, because there's always new potential sources of supply. But you don't know how many people will start by going into her chat because she's a low-cow or however they find her, Kiwi Farms or from Dr. Phil or whatever, and they watch her, and she's entertaining for a second. But inevitably, so many people come into our chat or find a DM for me and go, oh my God, how did you do that? You need to be knighted, or you need to be a saint. You're a saint for that, or whatever. All the time. And that's what I say, that audience will be there for a finite amount of time, and eventually they'll go, oh my God.
I mean, the way that she would pick at you in your face
Mm-hmm.
and pick at you, and you just kept your cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think my ex-husband, who was not abusive, if I had done that, might have just done it without thinking, bam.
Yeah.
So you were like extremely patient.
So y'all keep that in mind whenever there's a little bit of anxiety that somebody's actually believing her or this or that. They might for a little while, and then they'll eventually come find me and go, oh my God, dude.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm just looking at her through a screen and I'm losing my mind, you know? So.
It's just Roland said, well, if they think she's so great, they should let him move in with them. I always say that, like, on these documentaries where someone's going, it's like a serial killer, and they're like, he deserves to be released because the decisions that he made. All right, release him, but he's gonna live with you. Let him watch your kids.
Well, no,
No, we don't want
or,
that.
you know, when there's the argument about immigrants and stuff like that, and people are like, you know,
Yes.
we should let.
Oh, thank you, Winona. Thank you for the flowers. Thank you for the
Thank
super
you,
chat.
Winona. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it's an argument when people argue about immigration laws and things like that. And we should let all immigrants in, and then they'll throw that back at them and says, well, we'll start with your neighborhood. And it's not to, you know, to say for or against those laws at all, but that's an argument that people use is, you know, everybody that for anything, or the criminal should be paroled. Okay, well, let him come live with you.
Or next door. How
Or
about
next
that?
door. How about that? And it's
Jocelyn. So Jocelyn said, I'm glad she said that. She said, I'm living proof of that testimony, Sean. Because she that's one of the, Sean still said in that situation, there was no excuse for him to get physical, no
Right.
matter what you did.
And you know,
You own it, and that's awesome. And I won't go into the whole thing because, but he said that he was mad. He was mad. He said there was still no excuse for him doing that.
No, and there are people that say to me, even if you did do something like that, or she deserved it, and it would be like, yeah, but that's still not, you know what I mean? It's
I
like,
can't imagine you.
There's a lot of people that say things like, how did you not, you know, smack her or whatever? Like, and it's just a slippery slope. Because as much as
you said you weren't even tempted to, you just wanted her to get out your face.
No, well, or it was like, oh my God, you know, she's such a fucking mess. You know, it's after a while, you just get numb to it. But it's such a slippery slope because if people can get so triggered by her to even make a comment like that.
Come here.
Okay, so what I would say, okay, so now you put me in an actual space with the actual energy there, like in the room. What you guys see on a video screen pales in comparison to what the actual energy is.
Yeah.
You know, like when the police have to go over there, you know, they don't want to.
They don't want to.
They don't want to go
She's
over
always
there,
causing some shit. I'm curious how he dealt with her antics for so long, and also if he thinks she was worse back then when he was there, or is her antics way worse?
Her antics are way worse, I think.
Yes.
I mean, when she says stuff like, he didn't let me do this, he didn't let me drink, or he made me take my pills. Yes, I did. You know, that's
and there
what the
was
doctor
a certain
said.
level of expectation from the community and her professionals that he would monitor and make sure that she takes their medicine.
So when someone says, what did you do to put up with it a lot? Smoked a lot of fucking weed. I did.
Jocelyn says, any woman that has ever been hit usually takes pics, not for proof, but for themselves. TT doesn't have anything, just her inconsistent stories.
The biggest thing that advocates or victims of domestic violence will say is someone that has been beaten or somebody that has been brutalized does not taunt their attacker.
Right. Sean, Karen said, Sean, she must have totally exhausted. She must have, my ex is similar to her and he totally wore me out.
Right. And it's like, but and this is what pisses off a lot of victims of domestic violence is, so they hear that there's this crazy chick that's there that says that she's a victim of an abusive relationship, and they go and they watch her, and then they go, you don't sit around and talk about it and you know, drag, you don't go after the person that's attacked you. That's their biggest thing. It says people that have been victims of domestic violence don't sit there and keep perpetuating it on a live stream. And they certainly don't try to bait and drag the person that, they just don't do it. That's the very first thing that people notice about it.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, a lot of people are like, it doesn't fall in line.
It doesn't fall in line with anything.
I can see why she was on medication. Anyone can see why she was on medication. And so she's real open what she's on, and Josh put some stuff on Twitter. She's on Wellbutrin now. Neither me or my family did well on Wellbutrin. It was a horrible medicine just for us or whatever. But I was a breaker. Like when I was on it, I'd break stuff like mad or whatever. And
I mean, different medications.
Yeah, they when they tried the why don't you? Oh my God, just Roland, stop! Remove that one. Remove it for real.
I'm gonna pin it.
No, don't. I talked about 10 minutes. I can't. I talked to my ex for about 10
minutes and moved on.
Yes.
That's
Y'all
the thing.
see me. I mentioned my ex very randomly and not very often. Most people that are over it, that's what they do.
And as far as the YouTube stuff goes, there's people even, well, not so much anymore, but at first they were waiting for me to fire up a channel to talk all about it, and they said how big the channel would be, but two reasons I didn't do it. Number one, I met her, and I wasn't going to build a channel or give any more attention to that because I wanted to be in this relationship and not, it borders on disrespectful. I mean, in her case, you hear about that the people that she is with talk about, they mention how much she talked about me and her other exes all the time. She talks about Clint all the time. Can you imagine trying to date somebody? Well, first of all, you figure out pretty quick that it's a whack job. But who wants to go on a date with somebody and all they talk about is their exes?
Yeah.
And how abusive their exes are.
Yeah. It's very strange to me. But yeah, again, lean in, beast. Clint hates you.
And the thing is that
hates you.
So that's why when with the YouTube stuff, there's a couple people, one in particular that y'all know about, who is a victim of domestic violence, and I believe she was, and for several years would sit there and talk about the same thing that we're talking about, that she's not in line with somebody that's, and then they turned around because they didn't like us and changed their whole stance just to be relevant in YouTube. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing what people do.
Sean, I love it when he answers this. So, with the disgusting things that she was typing in the chat about the filthy sexual things that she did with Clint, that she wanted to do with Clint, that she wants to do with another guy, what do you say? First of all,
she's not interested in doing that for real. She's not. I think somebody, and she's not just her, but with histrionics in general, particular women and some men use sexuality. They figure if they offer sex, that's going to get them attention. But a lot of these people loathe, not love, loathe, hate sex because of that.
They'll use it.
It's not something that's enjoyable to them at all. It's a method and I like to say a weapon, but it's a tactic that they use. They don't even like it. So, like Mandi says, what about all this over-sexualized stuff? It's like she doesn't even like sex. Doesn't even like it. And I didn't like it either with her. It's one of those things where they say this was bad and that was bad. Okay, so then let's agree that it was bad and we move on.
Yeah.
That's just
that is why y'all divorce.
That's why people divorce, because when you find someone that hits all the buttons and make you feel, on top of the world, and you can treat them the same way and they feel the same way, that's who you go with. That's who you're with. That's who you spend your time with and your energy on. You know?
Yeah. No, I completely. She said the other night he was coming for her. He was coming. She had to be on something or just trolling. She knows he's not coming back. Not you.
Who's talking about? The other guy?
Yeah, he's
I
not.
mean,
They're about to pop
that's
babies
a
out.
fantasy. And that's the other thing. This talk of violence and
Yes, gross.
you know,
Carrie.
people sneaking up on them and stuff like that. It's almost like it's a sick fantasy.
Yeah.
You know?
It is. That's the thing that I think too. I'm like, you are awfully obsessed with someone whooping your ass. Pretty scarily. Scarily, is that a word?
It's
Is scarily a word?
scarily.
Scarily a word.
It's extremely scary. How's about that?
That's better.
Better.
I don't like when people say more, worser, or somebody said that, and it was a fairly educated person. I was like, more, worser, and I'm like, I think that might be okay though. It sounds
about
funny.
Mo better.
Mo better.
Mo better.
That's what they say at most Southwestern Grill when it's written on the wall.
It's Mo better.
Do you so the over sexualizing is for attention?
It's crazy. I mean, save it for some, you know, maybe some drunk Marine or something like that. It's
and most of the time, if you're a guaranteed, you know, piece of ass, they'll call you back. That one they don't. And don't you?
But it's
you
easier
have
to
to
do
feel
when you're
bad
in your.
for anybody who gets caught up with her. Like if they don't know.
Yeah.
And
you almost feel bad for them.
They
you
don't know,
almost.
and they don't know that if they beat their head against the wall and try to make her better and stay with her, you don't know that you're going to be punished forever.
Once you slip into once you're looked at as supply, once you're looked at as supply, you're in trouble because
Scarily is a word.
Years after you've even laid eyes on that person, you're going to be talked about and brought up. You might have the cops called on you. You might get dragged into court. You're just out trying to live your life. And that might be, I mean, if you are just stepping back and look at somebody, if you look at her with objectivity, like you didn't know anything, but the only thing you know is that she is past the point of the boy crying wolf. You know, she could be in genuine dire straits, in grave danger, and they're going to take their time to come get her, come find her, come help her because of all the bullshit and all the resources and all the agencies that she's harangued throughout the years.
Yeah.
You know,
at some point she's gonna have a caseworker. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Her behavior is getting that bad. Hey Steph, ASMR Diamond Steph, aka Diamond Girl. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
We're gonna jump off here in a second. You know why?
Are we gonna have? No, I'm just kidding.
I thought about that earlier because when you were talking about sex and like the Adam Sandler thing is like. Are they two people having sex?
You guys ever watch Adam Sandler?
It was on his CD.
On one of his CDs where he goes, I'm going to play this tape.
We were both Adam Sandler fans.
And you guys got to decide if what you're hearing on this tape is people having sex or working out in a gym. And then he'll play some sound and, you know.
His
you guys
CDs
remember that?
used to be gold when he would come out. I wonder why he doesn't anymore.
Because he's worth about $500 million.
So he doesn't need to do that anymore?
I'm telling you, comedians, a really good comedian in
you don't like
Hollywood,
Adam?
A really good comedian in Hollywood. I mean, look up what's his name?
Crying
Look
Wolf
up Kevin Hart. Look up Kevin Hart's net worth. You know, because he's probably the biggest
Even
comedian
Cyndi
actor.
Lauper had. I was like, whatever happened to Cyndi Lauper? And I looked her up, and she's got a pretty.
But I mean, people like Adam Sandler was that comedian actor that was all the rage for about 6-7 years. But Kevin Hart, he's worth a lot of money. He's worth a lot of money. 500 or 600.
I wonder who's
the
richest celebrity. Would it be Oprah? Probably.
That's hard to say. There's a few billionaires out there.
Yeah, Dr. Phil's a billionaire.
Yeah, Taylor Swift. I mean, she's a billionaire, but like Beyonce.
I don't like her. Some people just, it's like Randy. I don't like her. I don't like Taylor Swift because I think she's a snot. But she has a reason to be a snot now.
Mm.
She was a snot when she first started, and now she's a snot with a whole lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And the concerts are sold out, right?
She makes like $9 million every show.
And they're sold out though?
Yeah, I'm pretty
I think
sure.
they're sold
But
out.
there's stadiums and stuff that she's selling out.
No Swift. And I think the football player, when they asked him a bunch of questions about his love life, he said the other day, he's like, they're more obsessed with my love life than what I do on the field.
Here's the thing about that. I mean, as far as Taylor Swift,
you know what? I don't like her.
She was already the biggest thing going. But for the Kansas City Chiefs, right?
Yep.
Who Travis Kelce plays for, do you know how much Kansas City Chiefs merchandise is being bought by the Swifties? There's a ton of it. They buy everything that.
And she's they spend less time filming the game and more time showing her. She was there. I don't think his mom likes her. You know, she hangs out with his mom a little bit.
I think that Brittany Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes' wife, is a little bit overwhelmed by it all too.
But yeah.
You know,
I think she kind of steals the spotlight. He may be okay with that. I don't know, but
I mean, after a while, they will stop. I mean,
do y'all like The Masked Singer? Karen was saying that Dancing with the Stars are going to do her song. We don't normally watch that kind of stuff, but we do watch that at the in-laws sometimes. The Masked Singer.
Well, we've seen it like
which
once
is
or
kind
twice.
of interesting.
It's okay.
It gets pretty competitive for Sean. He gets online and tries to guess who the
So you know you can go on Twitter and you just hashtag Masked Singer and you try to you just
wait. You thought it was Bret Michaels?
Yeah, I did, but then somebody
It turned
told
out
me
to be
that
someone random.
Yeah, but Bret Michaels had already been on The Masked Singer. That's why.
See.
That's what they told me. I don't watch it enough. So.
I saw who was richest recently. Was surprised. It's the Lost, a girl from the movie The Lost Boys. She owns a lot in sports teams. Okay, I love that.
Did anyone look up Kevin Hart's net worth yet?
No, but Karen found out. Karen said that scarily is a word according to Google, but I don't think more, worser, or more better.
Mo better
is a word.
Mo better. Let's see, Kevin Hart. We're going to do Kevin Hart's net worth, and then we're going to say goodnight, okay?
Okay.
What do you think it is, babe?
I don't understand why it would be a whole lot, because I don't even really know who he is. Is he a comedian?
$450 million.
See, I don't really know.
He's the little black dude that does he's in every commercial, and you know what I'm talking about?
I know the name.
The movie Fist Fight? Wasn't it in Fist Fight? That was Ice Cube. That was Ice Cube.
I would not think for a second, like...
I'm telling you, comedians that make it big in Hollywood make a ton of money, like Adam Sandler did.
And Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey, that's another one. That's a perfect example.
See, I'm very, very good at this.
They're
450 million. Karen looked it up.
Yeah, see, 450 million.
Yeah.
I like the like if you're watching a lot of football, they have the betting sites and then Ryan Fitzpatrick, who's like a journeyman quarterback, and Kevin Hart's like doing the betting and all that, and he's in those commercials. He's a funny guy.
Is he?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I learn something new every day. What did Stitching say before we go? My hubby cousin was on Masked Singer. Oh, how cool!
That's cool.
So, Karen can't outdo that. For once, she doesn't have a story. Y'all have a good night. Thank you for stopping by. We'll be on probably not tomorrow, but then Friday and Saturday. Thank you for the Cash Apps, for the
Thank you for that.
donations, and just for being here. Thanks, mods. It was good to see Presley. And keep Sarah Smiles in your thoughts and prayers.
Keep Sarah in your thoughts.
And her family.
And really, really, if you're on Twitter, at X, formerly known as Twitter, go look at our friend Joss's tweets, because she's
very, very perceptive.
She's
a smart
she's
girl.
out there, but in a good way.
Yeah.
It's
we got the coolest friends.
We do.
Okay.
We do.
Have a good night.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.